Hello, this is Stefan again from schristoph.online. Today we'll talk about my latest blog post where I rebuilt an open source browser fact checker as an AWS native service. The whole thing came together quickly because of one piece that recently became generally available. And that is really the story of this post. It started with an open source browser extension that fact checks videos and live streams right in the browser. What stuck with me was not the extension, but the shape of the problem. A fact checker is really one small, reusable function wrapped in a lot of plumbing. Give it a claim, get back a verdict with evidence. Everything else is just a client feeding that function. On Amazon Bedrock, Claude is a great reasoner, but it does not search the web on its own. The piece that closed that gap is web search on Amazon Bedrock AgentCore, which became generally available on the June 19th, 2026. It is a fully managed MCP-compatible web search tool you attach to an AgentCore gateway, so there are no search APIs to provision and no keys to manage. This is the launch announcement on the AWS machine learning block. A few properties make it a great fit for fact-checking. It is backed by a web index Amazon operates directly and refreshes within minutes. Every result carries a publication date, and the queries never leave AWS. Pricing is $7 per 1,000 queries, and at general availability, it is in US East, North Virginia only. The service keeps a single clean theme. Claim text in verdict with evidence out. The backend's only job is to turn a string into a verdict. Everything that produces claims or renders them is just a thin client of that contract. Here is that architecture as a diagram. A browser client signs in with Amazon Cognito and calls API Gateway with a JWT, API Gateway routes to two lambdas, extract, running the cheaper Claude Haiku, and verify running Claude Sonnet. Both call Claude on Bedrock through the Converse API with forced tool use. And the verify lambda also calls AgentCore Web Search through the gateway connector. No model or search credentials ever sit in the browser. Claims are verified in a bounded parallel pool rather than one at a time. The original had to verify serially because a free API tier limited it. Here, Bedrock and AgentCore are pay-per-use and scale out, so 3 claims take about as long as one. The cap I keep is a cost cap, not a rate limit workaround. Claims are screened during extraction, so I never spent a search query on filler. There is also a live mode that matches the original's watch a stream experience. The browser captures microphone audio, streams it to Amazon, transcribes streaming, and the backend runs extraction over a rolling window of transcript. Verdicts stream back over a WebSocket keyed by claim ID, so the interface fills them in as they resolve. It is a proof of concept. In production, the long-lived session would run on Fargate or an AgentCore runtime. You might ask what stops a long transcript from running up a huge bill. 3 things. Claims are screened during extraction, so filler never reaches a web search query. The parallel verify pool has a fixed ceiling, and there is a hard cap on claims per run. At $7 per 1,000 queries, screening is the main lever. A natural follow-up. Is it available in Europe? At general availability, the web search connector is in US East, North Virginia only. For a proof of concept, that is fine, but for a production EMEA deployment, region availability, and data residency are a real input to track against the roadmap. I flag it in the post rather than hiding it. A sharper question, is the verdict trustworthy enough to act on? No, and the interface says so. Verdicts are model generated, and the footer tells you to confirm against the cited sources. There is a self-consistency check that catches the obvious failure, but calibrated confidence and human review are explicitly future work. And the deepest one is not trusting the web the same credibility problem the original had. Largely, yes. Web grounding is strong for what is being reported right now and weaker for contested claims, because breadth is not authority. The real fix is grounding against a curated corpus with Bedrock knowledge bases alongside web search. That is honest, future work, not something I claim to have solved here. Where could this go? 2 directions, a browser plugin that checks whatever page or video you're looking at, and real-time checking inside video calls, including catching errors in your own statements before you mislead anyone. Both are still proof of concept territory, but the part that used to be the research project, reliable grounded verification with citations, is now a managed connector. If you want to run this yourself, it is a small set of managed pieces. Cognito for login, API gateway and Lambda for the theme, Claude on Bedrock through the Converse API, AgentCore web search on a gateway, and transcribe streaming for the live path. Wiring the search tool onto a gateway is a single create gateway target call with the web search connector. All the code for this is on GitHub in my Schristoph blog samples repository under live fact checker auth. It builds on the AgentCore work from my earlier post on an agent that pays publishers at the edge. If you want to wire up the gateway connector or the two model split yourself, this is the place to start. Thanks for listening. I hope this was helpful. If so, you can reach out on LinkedIn directly or head to my blog at schristoph.online. Let's keep in touch. Take care.